Muted.
Typing them into GoToWebinar's question feature. Our speakers will answer as many questions as we have time for at the end of the session. So with that out of the way, I'm pleased to welcome you to today's webinar. I'm Sarah Buitoni, a specialist on the Leadership and Diversity team here at Women's World Banking, and I will be moderating today's session. Women's World Banking is the global nonprofit devoted to giving more low-income women access to the financial tools and resources they require to build security and prosperity. For over 35 years, we have worked with financial institutions to show them the benefit of investing in women as customers and as leaders. Our leadership and diversity programs support institutions to build leadership capacity and create inclusive workplaces to attract and retain diverse talent so that they can better serve the low-income women's market segment. This year, 2016, is the 10-year anniversary of our signature Women in Leadership program. And to celebrate this milestone, we have been hosting a series of webinars that take a deeper look at gender diversity and how we can close the gender gap, particularly in financial services. Today's webinar is the final in this series, and will culminate this celebration of leadership with a conversation with 4 women leaders who've gone through our leadership development programs and who can speak personally to the value of building gender diverse institutions and investing in women leaders. So I'm delighted to have with me today 4 women who have been part of our signature Leadership and Diversity for Innovation program. We started this program in partnership with Credit Suisse with support from the Cisco Foundation. This is a year-long program where we pair a senior executive and a high-potential woman leader together. Both participants receive training and work together over the course of the program to advance a strategic business challenge that will help their institution better serve women clients and become more gender diverse internally. They push forward this initiative during the year-long program and after the program ends. Our first pair is representing the 2015 class of the program. We have Aditi Biswas and Carol Furtado from Ujjivan Financial Services in India. Ujjivan aims to provide a full range of financial services to the economically active poor who are not adequately served by financial institutions. At present, their operations are spread across 24 states and union territories and 209 districts across India, offering a diverse range of loan products to cater to the specific requirements of their customers, as well as non-credit offerings, for example, life insurance. Aditi is the National Manager for Operational Risk and Compliance. She has worked for nearly a decade in the Indian banking sector before joining Ujjivan, where she has been instrumental in venturing new initiatives, adapting to modern technology, and implementing new processes that streamline business. Aditi was the high potential woman leader selected by our next participant to participate in the Leadership and Diversity for Innovation program along with her. Carol Furtado is Head of Human Resources and Service Quality at Ujjivan. Carol has been with Ujjivan since its inception and has served the organization in various roles and responsibilities, most recently as the Chief Operating Officer in its South Region presence. We also have from our current class, the class of 2016, Faith Wambugu and Emma Kimani from KREP Feda Services, or KFS for short, in Kenya. KFS is a company that provides technical and professional management services as well as oversight to rural community-based financial institutions. Faith is the projects and operations lead. She has more than a decade of experience working in programs and project management in the financial and development sectors and was selected by our next participant, Emma, who is current CEO of KFS. Emma has spent most of her career in the microfinance and financial inclusion sector, contributing to the development of the rural-based financing in the country. So I'm pleased to welcome all 4 of our panelists to the conversation today. I'd like to kick off the conversation by asking each of our senior leaders, why do you think building gender diverse leadership at your institution is important? And how do you think that institutional gender diversity can help your companies to better serve women? Emma, let's start with you.
Thank you, Sarah. I think it's very, very important to have gender diversity in the institution because it helps to bring in the people with different competencies that are crucial in managing those institutions. And also in some roles, really, we have to be intentional about the kind of gender that we have to put in because they need to influence probably the relationships within what they do at that level. I think it also brings in a lot of potential for everyone. Everyone thinks this is a leveling ground and that staff work with a lot more motivation because they know there is no limitation as to how far they can move in their career. And therefore they do work with that understanding. In terms of how that can be used to better serve the women, we tend to understand better the needs of women when we have diversity in terms of what the kind of products that can meet the kind of needs that they have. And at an institutional level creates a pool of talented staff who can be able to serve women.
Thank you, Emma. I love what you said about diversity opening up possibilities both for clients and for staff within your organization. Thank you for that. Carol, what is your perspective?
Gender diversity at the leadership positions definitely helps bring a holistic solution and a better and a wholesome approach to what is done in the organization. We in Ujjivan have almost 100% of our customers as women, and with the woman's view on the table, a lot of decisions could be taken realizing the real needs and requirements of what the women face as customers in the day-to-day situations. We are able to customize a lot of our services to our customers with a realistic approach, and we are able to give them the best of our services. This is something that we've always been doing. We have leadership, women leadership at various levels in the organization. We have women leaders in the board, our national leadership team, and our regional leadership team. And this actually brings a very holistic approach to whatever we do.
Thank you, Carol. That's excellent. You're talking really about mirroring your market. You're serving 100% of women customers, and through the guidance and decision-making power of a diverse group, you're able to better customize to serve their needs. Thank you. So now I'd like to move on to our high potential women leaders. So in order to participate in Women's World Banking's Leadership and Diversity for Innovation program, your organizations and the leaders who are on the call with us today identified you both as high potential leaders in your organizations. Aditi, I'd like to ask you, what other strategies does Ujjivan use to promote diverse talent?
Yes, Sarah, that is like Ujjivan believes that diverse organizations are more innovative and portrays better financial performance. So based on this, at all levels, as Carol mentioned, that we hire people, women particularly, to mirror our customers' needs. The other thing is that it's not only hiring. Hiring will not resolve this problem of gender diversity. But in Ujjivan, we consciously engage to enhance their skills so that they can contribute in a meaningful way. So if you look at enhancing of these skills, it is more through, as I have participated, it's been 6 years in the organization and I've participated in this leadership development programs, and it is through this kind of supportive policies in Ujjivan that fosters this inclusive culture. And I would like to mention here that in the Indian subcontinent, we do have issues where we face discriminations and sexual harassments which women often face as real obstacles while climbing in the professional world. And to address the same, I would like to mention here that Ujjivan has a very effective sexual harassment policy as a top-down approach which helps women to actually bring into table a lot many problems and helps them to climb up the ladder. Besides this, I would also like to mention that Ujjivan celebrates success together. And it is mentioned here that in the Women's Day, we celebrate with a lot of fanfare, and it provides us the right ambience, and because the women can actually overcome their internal barriers and which are often considered as an obstacle because women hesitate to ask anything. In Ujjivan, we foster this kind of developments and helps our women leaders to come up and climb the corporate ladder.
Thank you, Aditi. What you mentioned is so important. It's not just about diversity in terms of numbers, it's about cultivating an environment of inclusion within your organization that allows all staff to grow and contribute. Thank you. Moving on to Faith, I know that not only has your organization identified you as an important and critical talent, that you are also investing in your team members. Can you tell us a little bit about how you are developing talent in your own team?
Thank you, Sarah. I think for me, I've come to learn as being a leader, it's my work to enable people discover their full potential. And since attending this course, I've been I was equipped with skills to coach my staff so that I bring out the best in them. Through asking the right questions and listening keenly to what they have to do, I've come to find out that they have solutions within themselves. Many at a times we've left our teams, we have gone more on directing our staff rather than making them escalate solutions. And I think I've seen a lot of slowly my team moving to coming up with solutions rather than escalating problems. And at the same time, I've been able to strike a lot of conversations with them, productive conversation with them, just by discovering who I am as a leader and helping them to be the leaders that they ought to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Faith. Exactly right. Leaders enable people to achieve their potential. Thank you for sharing that. So we've heard a little bit about our leaders' philosophies about leadership and diversity. As I mentioned, through our Leadership and Diversity for Innovation program, we are also supporting leaders and institutions to make progress towards a real-time business challenge that will help their organization better serve low-income women. So through this action-oriented approach, Women's World Banking seeks to equip our leaders with tools that they need to deliver on the challenge while giving them the opportunity to drive a real impact within their institutions. So I'd like to ask our senior leaders to describe their strategic business initiatives and some of the progress that they've made to date. Carol, can we start with you?
Yes. So my strategic business initiative was to lead and manage in a rapidly changing environment. Ujjivan, as most of us would know, is changing from an NBFC MFI structure, basically a microfinance institution, to a small finance bank. We just received the license to start operations as a small finance bank early this month. But my strategic business initiative was one was to enable a smooth transition from a particular legal structure to another, and also to ensure business as usual is not affected during the transition period. So the progress made so far on these two initiatives is that our business has been doing well. The business has been progressing well. We are able to meet all the expectations. In fact, early on this year, we've also become a listed organization. We had our IPO, which was hugely successful. We also have taken on a lot of initiatives with our staff in actually moving them from an NBFC institution to a small finance bank, mainly through giving them a lot of trainings. We are actually moving a lot of all our employees from the current structure to a small finance bank structure, and that involves equipping our staff with a lot of skills and through training. This is one of the unique initiatives that Ujjivan has taken up to develop the skills of our staff and move them onto bank roles. So one side, the business is ongoing. We have to do our day-to-day operations, and at the same time invest a lot of time and effort in learning, in educating our staff, and moving them onto bank roles. A lot of initiatives have been taken, a lot of plans have been put in place, a lot of trainings have already been done, and we are in the final stages now of converting into a small finance bank. And we hope to see we hope to see and be the best in all that we do, even as we move on to a small finance bank, and be able to give the best of our services to our customers, and keep the loyalty of our customers intact.
Thank you, Carol. Certainly no small challenge that Ujjivan has been leading through this year with such an important focus on the people side of change. So thank you for sharing that. And I'd actually like to ask Aditi as well, would you speak to your role in this initiative, and how has being involved in the work of this transition along with Carol influenced your own leadership style and your career trajectory?
Yes, Sarah. As Carol mentioned, that we are transforming from a microfinance to a small finance bank. So my initiative in this WWP program was, setting up a framework to understand the operational risk which is associated in the business processes. So since we had to have the business as usual ongoing, so we put up a framework to identify the risks which are associated with this, so that we can measure them on a continuous basis and monitor them for effective reporting, so that transition it goes on smoothly. And as we transform into SFB, I'm in a liaison with the different departments and verticals to put up the framework of operational risk, so that it helps us to carry on with our businesses and serve our customers better. And as far as my own, how this has influenced my leadership style is concerned, it has helped me, it has actually helped me to work as a facilitator, and that ensures that I liaison with the different verticals, that the information flows effectively, and we capture the understanding and analysis, which helps Carol to actually take in this transformation in one of the threads to get into the small finance bank.
Thank you, Aditi. So you have had to take a broader and more cross-sectional view of the organization to help move the change along. Emma, would you describe for us the strategic business challenge that you and Faith have been working on during the program?
Okay, thank you, Sarah. At the point when we joined the program, we had just finalized on drafting our 5-year strategic plan. And at the same time, we had the institutions that we work with transitioning from being regulated, non-regulated to regulated in the country. And one of the things that we needed to work on, or what we were to work on, was to ensure that we have an optimum, competent, and self-driven and productive workforce, and the structure to help us to be able to deliver both on our strategic plan and also to deliver on the objectives of the FSAs or the community institutions that we actually currently are working on. So that was my SBI. In terms of the progress of where we are currently, we've seen quite a bit of a shift in the culture of the way we work as an institution, and this is, in the past our culture was more of directive, helping or telling people what to do, into more of a coaching culture that is helping building leaders into helping the rest of the staff also be able to act and think strategically in whatever they do. So our vision was also very, very clear in this. The other bit that we've done was to have trainings. You know, we carried out the trainings that I was able to, or fortunately, receive to a number of staff from the management team who are the direct staff that I work with, and the staff of the FSAs who are then the managers, in helping them also to understand how to deal with certain issues, some of them like how to handle difficult situations, how to work on talent management, and to take on we've been able to take on coaching schedules on weekly basis, either from me directly coaching my direct reports, or then the other direct reports coaching their other staff. The other bit we've been able to do was also to carry out trainings on modules like how to lead enterprises, how to make critical decisions, how to really not be able to work with that big data and be able to make a decision that would help every staff be able to build their leadership skills to manage the institutions that they are managing at their level. So we've been busy training and coaching and helping the staff to be able to achieve their objectives and our vision. And so far, that has been achieved through what we are seeing in our culture, the way we do our work, and also in our numbers.
Thank you, Emma. Yes, you in your organization are a leader of leaders, so wonderful that you're able to cascade the learning from the program and inculcate that culture of coaching in your organization. Faith, can I ask you to say a little bit about your role in this initiative?
Thanks, Sarah. I think my major role in the SBI, in our SBI, was just to take some core activities and move with them. The major one being building leadership in the others. For a fact that I lead quite some team who also have teams that they work with. That was my major role. And as for the influence on my leadership skills, I must say that I've seen a shift in my leadership style, more moving to being an inspirational leader, more than where I've always been more of directing or micromanaging, or even most of the time spending so much time overseeing how things are being done. And I've been able, at the same time, I'm able to give my team challenges so that they're able to think more innovatively and, of course, express their opinions. And, of course, I've seen some self-driving in how they do things, and they're able even to experiment on various ways of doing things.
Thank you, Faith. We can see some clear connections between these two organizations that have been going through pretty significant changes over the last year or more. And it sounds like all of our leaders are really thinking about how to empower others and bring their ideas and innovation and creativity into the process to achieve even better results. I now have a question for all of our participants. I'd like to ask you each what module or topic from the Leadership and Diversity for Innovation program most affected you, and how it has influenced your leadership style. So I think we'll start with Faith.
For me, the most module that affected me was building relationship, for a fact that it became very evident for me that it has to be clear who my support network would be. And alone, I cannot be the leader that I want to be. So I have really to understand who is my sounding board, who are my encouragers, or the people who reframe my thinking. And of course, it has influenced my leadership in such that I have to evaluate myself and look at the changes that I require to make in my leadership journey, the relationships that I have to strengthen, and of course the relationship that I need to drop or change.
Thank you. Yes, in our leadership programs, we always start with the basis of helping leaders to better understand themselves, reflect on their own leadership, and then think about how that influences and impacts the people that they lead. Aditi, for you, what was the element of the program that has most affected your leadership style?
The most effective one in which I got much benefited was the negotiation ability. And the way we did the mergers to understand the negotiation ability has really helped me to gain confidence as well as to gain the buy-in of different stakeholders in implementing my strategic business initiative. And besides that, it would also be the MBTI, which has helped me to understand my natural strength of the leadership style and the potential areas of growth so that I can take it forward going.
Thank you. So similar to Faith, looking at your own leadership and understanding your own style and then taking that out into the relationships that you have in the organization. Thank you. Emma, for you, what was the most impactful topic or module from the program?
Okay, Sarah, is that me? There was a bit of some
Yes.
noise. Oh,
Yes,
okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. I think there was a bit of noise, but that's okay. What has quite influenced me was the topic on how to handle difficult situations. With what we do on a daily basis, having to work with institutions that are autonomous and they have their own way of dealing with things, a lot of things that would come in to me had to do with maybe a certain thing that we were not very sure on how to handle it. And this sort of like influenced my coaching culture into it. And this was really just understanding if you really have to understand where you really are, you've got to use SBI. You have to have the listening and questioning skills. You've got to hold your conversations with the people that you're working with on an adult to adult mode and not holding them on any other mode. And this has really influenced the way we are also picking up on coaching the leaders of those institutions into becoming more transformational leaders in the way they handle their issues, in the way they handle the relationships with their staff, and also with the board of directors that are actually elected or nominated from their communities.
Thank you, Emma. Yes, listening, questioning, feedback, all foundational skills for leaders, particularly when we face challenging or changing situations. And finally, Carol, what is the piece of the program that's been most impactful for you?
Actually, I found the entire program very useful, but I must say that the leadership styles that actually really helped me was, there were two things. One is getting me to understand my own leadership style, and when I could understand myself better, I was able to handle things much better. But I must say that the coaching, the personalized coaching that was given and which went on for nearly a year, I think that really helped me, especially in this situation when we are going through this transformation with a lot of challenges. There were times when I had to speak out and to my coach and get a lot of thoughts sorted out, because I was able to open my mind. The coach was able to navigate me through a lot of challenges that I faced within myself, and I was able to overcome a lot of issues that way. And at the end of it all, I found that there were very simple solutions that were easily executable if I could just make a little time for myself to think out loud and think and get a lot of perspectives. So I could take on good solutions from whatever I thought out loud. So the coaching really helped me a lot, I must say that.
Great, thank you. You know, I'm hearing across all of your comments that it's really critical for leaders to have a support team and sounding boards, as you've said wonderfully, Carol, to be able to think out loud and look for solutions. Thank you. So one final question, so as to leave time for our attendees to also ask their own questions. I'd like to ask each of you how you are now looking forward to building on your own development and having that further impact in your organizations and ultimately for your women clients. Emma, can we start with you? What are your next steps?
For me, I think I will have to really get a coach in area that I am in as a person. I thought it was very, very important to get a professional coach. Attend some of the executive leadership programs, which would also include coaching, so that I can become a better coachee to the rest of the people. Use the resources that are available within the even community circle, other schools like universities, to really get to understand what is going on within the board, or what is going to happen in the next in the coming years, and also to do quite a bit of networking.
Great, thank you. Carol?
So how am I looking to build on my own development? Is that we, as you know, I've been talking about it, is that in this transformation time, there are a lot of things that needs to be done, a lot of things that needs to get prioritized. So one of the things that I'm consciously doing is learning to prioritize a lot of multiple activities that needs to be done at the same time. So there are clear solutions ahead, and a lot of time is given, thought and time is given to help us do whatever we do to our best. And that is going to really, the decisions made at this point of time is going to impact the institution in the long run. So, again, I mean, learning to set priorities and learning to set them, and also make sure that the team sets their priorities right, and we are able to take the team forward and make the right decisions at this point of time to take the institution to the next level.
Great, thank you. And Faith, how are you looking to build on your development?
For me, what I require now is also to do some training, leadership training and programs, both local and external. I'll also require a mentor and a coach to hold me in this leadership journey. And the other thing is I look forward to doing a lot of networking with people who can have a positive impact on this journey that I've undertaken.
Thank you. And finally, Aditi.
Yeah, firstly, I would like to continue with my introspection so that I can assess how can I contribute further meaningfully. And second is to pass on these learnings to my direct reports so that we can have an impact on in the organization and a multiplier effect.
Great, thank you. I'm hearing a lot of themes from all of you, this need to balance current needs of your organizations and roles and looking to the future, seeing that bigger picture, the strategic view of what may be coming, and also continuing to build that support network by finding outside supporters as well as building those internal supporters in your team members. So with that, I'd like to open up for Q&A. I believe we've received several questions. So the first question I have is, what can leaders do to ensure they are promoting women's leadership and that women's leadership and internal diversity and inclusiveness always remains a focus? Shall we ask Carol to comment on that?
There are a lot of times when we need to give a little more attention to promoting women's leadership in an organization. We at Ujjivan are consciously doing this. Not only, we are looking at it right from the time of recruitment where we give equal opportunities. And once a woman joins the organization, there is attention given to that person to groom and develop. We do have a lot of people who have joined us recently, and we do take time to ensure that they get settled down. Their induction is well done, and they familiarize themselves with the people in the organization. First of all, make them comfortable and help them execute their roles well, and also take a lot of time to spend time with them so that they are, it's more a matter of making people comfortable, because especially in India, women do take a back seat. Women do not, they do not speak out. But we give them opportunities, we give them a platform to speak out and let people know that women are also capable of contributing their best in whatever they do. So we do have a lot of women leaders in the organization. We do have a lot of women out in the field, and we do take that little extra effort to make sure that they are able to grow and develop, and leadership programs that we have, especially the leadership programs with Women's World Banking has helped us a lot in this process.
Thank you, Carol. What you're saying is so important for organizations, that the first step in focusing on diversity is to have a conscious awareness of some of the barriers that women may be facing in your particular market, and taking affirmative steps to make sure that you're reaching out to women as potential staff members, and that once you've onboarded them, that you can remove some of the barriers that they may face as their career progresses. For you, Emma, what do you think will help organizations keep the focus on women's leadership?
I think one of the things is just being intentional about having to identify women in particular areas of influence and be passionate about it. And I also think the policies that we set in the institution have to be in such a way that they make the women want to remain. You know, if it's issues to do with what do they do with when it's maternity leave, what are the kind of the policies that we have in place that would encourage women to be able to have a work-life balance, and really it's just leveling that ground, making it easier. Not just easy for them, but just ensuring that if it's a position that comes out and we want to get a woman to fill it, that we go out and make that very clear, and do it, and even search for one if we have to.
Thank you, Emma. Yes, that intentionality is really important. And you know, in our experience at Women's World Banking, we've always found that when we're designing a financial product for women that meets their needs, that's attractive for women, we find that men also want that product. So you could possibly say the same thing for internal policies and organizations. If we create policies and an environment that allow women to thrive, men and all other members of the team will thrive as well. So one additional question we have, you're all successful leaders who've had excellent careers in financial services and beyond. What is one recommendation that you have for someone who would like to advance in their career? Can we start with Aditi?
To answer that, the best thing would be, there's introspection and understanding yourself is very important if you have to advance yourself. So once you know yourself better, it becomes easier to serve, be it to the customers or be it to any other place. So understanding yourself, I would say it's very important. And that helps in, WWP has really helped in getting this kind of introspection in a structured manner.
Thank you, Aditi. So know yourself. Faith?
For me, what I can do, the first thing is believe in yourself. If you think you can do it even a little bit, go for it.
Thank you. So believe in yourself and go for it. Emma, what is one piece of advice that you have?
Have a vision of who you want to be, and no matter the challenges, just keep focusing and keep doing what you have to do to get to where you want to become or where you want to go.
Great, thank you. Vision and focus. And Carol, what is one piece of advice that you can share?
It's simple. Stay focused to your goals and do your best in all that you do.
Stay focused and give your best. Thank you so much. I'll ask the panelists if you have any final words to share with our audience before we bring the conversation to a close. Should we start with Faith?
For me, the one thing I can see is attending the Leadership in Diversity program was an eye-opener for me. I got to focus and reflect of who I am as a leader. And the good thing is not only at my workplace, but even outside the workplace. And I think for me, I'm looking at the world in a very different perspective thanks to this program. And I think I've not had any other like this. And I think it's something that if given another opportunity, I can attend many other times, but of course I have to give opportunity to people, to other people. And I think then we are going to impact our communities and especially our women down there when we take our positions as women in leadership.
Mm-hmm. Emma, final words?
I think it's just to be intentional and purposeful about what kind of a leader one would want to become, and purpose to actually find out opportunities that exist out there that would make you be what you want to become. And just like my colleague Faida said, I believe leaders mean well, but sometimes they don't know what to do. And I think programs like this help somebody to start looking at things from a perspective, and each they have purpose to do. You always something good to learn from. And I think now we need to take it to the next level into understanding beyond this, then what? So I think that's what I would actually say.
Great, thank you. And Carol. Carol, can you hear us?
Yes, Sarah.
Any closing words?
Closing words on, I mean, what exactly? I didn't get your question, Sarah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, any final words on your thoughts on leadership? Audience?
Yes, so my thoughts on leadership is that, leaders need to be role models in, in what they do. They need to make sure that they are able to carry on their team together and make sure that the team is able to do their roles to the best of their ability, and the leader is more of a coach, a guide, and a support to the team to help the team do their best.
Thank you. And finally, Aditi, any closing words for our audience on leadership or women's leadership?
Yeah, the women leadership, especially this kind of program of leadership and diversity program, has helped. It was a very great experience because it has brought into forum women across geographies, and we shared the similar problems, and that was a unique experience. And the thought is this, that this kind of leaders or this kind of programs helps us to, carry forward with a mission for a greater good.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our panelists. It's been wonderful chatting with you today, hearing about all of the excellent progress you've been making with your own leadership, your teams, and your organizations. You can, for our audience, you can find out more about Ujjivan and KFS by visiting their website. We'll also send you all an email with the recording of this webinar, and you can look out for a follow-up on our blog. So check our website or social media to see when that gets posted. We would also love to hear what you thought about the webinar. So if you could all answer a 1-minute survey, the link is on the chat window now. And lastly, Women's World Banking is now accepting applications for the Leadership and Diversity for Innovation class of 2017. So if you are the leader of an institution that is looking to serve low-income women well, or you know a leader of such an institution, please go to our website for more information. You can also click the link in the chat window. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.